CoinSkid crew, welcome back to another market wrap up for the 27th of June 2022. We have just had the weekly close where Bitcoin closed above 21,000 and Ethereum a touch above 1,200. So the last 7 days have been very positive for the crypto market. If we have a look at the crypto bubbles, a lot of the altcoins standout performers. Matic up 47.1%, Sandbox a touch under 40%. Atom had a good week, 20.1%. Comp 59%. Even BNB had a good week, 9.2%. GMT was another good performer at 25.3%. Heading over to the crypto fear and greed index, last week we were at 6. This has just been updated and we are at 12 right now, so a slight improvement on sentiment. Heading over to the Bitcoin chart on the weekly. So we closed above the 300 EMA, had a green candle, and currently finding support there. And I feel as though this relief rally continues, at least up to the lower band of the Keltner channel, which is at 23,768. The reason why I use the Keltner channel is because most of the time it's within the Keltner channel. In a bull market, you'll see it above the 8MA and finding support on the outside of the Keltner channel. In normal market conditions though, we're within the band, but right now we're outside it. So the worst case scenario for a rally is at least up to 23,769, but I feel as though because this move is massive, it needs basically to reverse from here to negate this downtrend. So I'm expecting a nice rally up to this 200 EMA at around 26,000 eventually with time. But my first target is here at 23,500, and I feel as though we will get there by the end of the week. Heading over to Ethereum. This is the all-time high from 2018. We're a bit below that now, but I feel as though we rally up into this area and find resistance. If we head over to the 3-day, that 1400 level is pretty much where the 500 EMA is on the 3-day. So I'm expecting it to rally into that area at least, possibly higher, but that would be my trade. It's looking good so far for a relief rally to continue. Now, if you remember from last week, I was anticipating a rally up towards the $1 trillion area. So we basically found resistance on the 1.618 here at 965 billion. Sold off there, but now currently new candle, and I feel as though this continues up to about the 1 trillion mark, which is the lower band of the Keltner channel, and possibly up to the 200 EMA here. So my belief is the relief rally is still in full effect, and that is the right side to be on right now if you're a trader. Just want to have a quick look at Solana, because Solana's been outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're already back within the Keltner channel here on the weekly, and now the 8MA is providing resistance at around 42. If we break that, we definitely head up to about 53.65. So Solana leading the pack at the moment. Now I want to dive into the S&P 500, and I want to go back to 2001 during the dot-com bubble and eventual bursting of that bubble. And I want to show you guys what a bottom in a market looks like. And this is a massive consolidation area that happened for about maybe a year. So this is what I'm expecting to play out with crypto eventually. Whether that's at 13,000, 8,000, I'm not really sure of the level. Could be 17,000, but this is the kind of trading I'm expecting with crypto for the next 6 to 12 months. And if we go back to Bitcoin on the weekly, yeah, we haven't got any, we're nowhere near. It's just the beginning, really, of that consolidation period. I highly doubt we're going to get a similar situation to the Corona dump and then a spike low and then a massive bull market. We don't have the macro conditions behind us like we did back then. You have to realize that when this happened, you had central banks and governments across the globe just flooding the system with cheap money. And today, we have the opposite. We have a hawkish central bank and governments not really willing to spend because of the fear of inflation. And yeah, it's just a complete opposite market conditions. So this isn't going to happen unless for some reason the central bank decides to pivot and completely do a 180 and start lowering interest rates, which I don't think is going to happen. Not until inflation comes down anyway. So yeah, relief rally in the short term. Medium term, we're going to have consolidation. But yeah, ultra long term, I'm always bullish on the crypto market. But I just think the next 12 to 18 months are going to be very frustrating indeed. So heading over back to the S&P 500, if we go back to where we are today, 200 EMA has been support, and we are bouncing off that now and heading towards the 8 MA here and possibly the 100 EMA here for a bit of a relief rally in the stock market. So this positive sentiment should flow through into crypto. NASDAQ is a similar situation, finding support on the 200 EMA. And yeah, just we are in the midst of a relief rally towards this area, at least the 21 EMA and the 100 EMA. Now I want to take a quick look at gold. Gold's been in heavy consolidation. I think this continues. But I want to have a look at the longer term on gold because I do feel as though we eventually break out above these all-time highs and we head up to around 2,800. As you can see, the Keltner channel is in an uptrend, so it's going to be a slow grind higher. But yeah, I think once we break above 2030 or 2060, we take the elevator up to the 1.272 and potentially spike high up here to 2,800. Now, you'd probably need a big geopolitical story for that to happen, but as you know, there's a lot of stuff going on around the world which could, give fuel for gold to pop up to this area here. So, and that long-term bull market is still intact. You've got a massive cup and handle going on here. So, yeah, if you measure that to there, it's definitely going to eventually hit up to this level. So, if you haven't got Pax Gold in your portfolio, I highly recommend allocating some money to that because that would be a standout performer in a crypto bear market. Now heading over to silver. Silver's been a frustrating investment for anyone that's been holding on. You'd think that it would be rallying with all the other industrial metals like copper and nickel, but it just hasn't budged, and we are actually coming back down here. So yeah, I think gold does consolidate a bit further, and silver will do the same. And we've got support levels here at touch under $19, and you've got a golden ratio here at $17.25, where I think putting a cheeky bid around this level would be good. If you're into holding a bit of silver. Having a look at the 10-year yield, and if we head over to the 3-day chart, so zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, we're poking above the 1 here, so it looks like we're finding support here on the 8MA. Could potentially rally, but I mean, I'm predicting the stock market to pump, so I would assume that the bond yield would consolidate a little bit further if that was to happen. So the bond yields are definitely what I'm watching as a leading indicator for what other markets are doing. So yeah, if this continues higher, then that would be bad news for the stock market and probably crypto as well. And having a look at the Japanese yen, if you're not aware, like the Japanese yen has basically been crashing against the US dollar, because obviously you've got the FOMC being extremely hawkish, while the Japanese central bank isn't budging. It still doesn't want to raise interest rates, and with that, you're seeing a massive devaluation in the yen, which is causing a lot of issues in Japan for imports. So yeah, this doesn't look like it's topping out anytime soon. So keep your eye on the Japanese yen. That's a developing story right now. And heading over to Brent crude. We consolidated in the last week or two, sorry. And finding support here on the 21 EMA at $105 per barrel. I feel as though this continues higher eventually. If we break above $130, then we head straight up to 158. So keep your eye on Brent crude, and I'm going to wrap it up. Enjoy. Hope you have a good week, and God bless.